Hey guys, welcome back to the Fool Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil. I just wanted to give you my thoughts, a little bit of recap after Michigan's 47-14 victory over Western Michigan today. Coming into the game, you don't really know what to expect. Michigan, of course, went 2-4 last year. The offense was mediocre, the defense was Swiss cheese, and you don't really know what was going to happen. Obviously, Michigan's staff was retooled. Mike McDonald became the new defensive coordinator. People getting different jobs all over the place. What's the team going to look like? The game started off with a good drive. Honestly, I think they said it was the first time Michigan scored since 2019 on their opening drive since the Ohio State game. So that's been a long time. That's like, I guess that's like 7 or 8 games if you count 2 bowl games and 6 games last year. So 8 games. Not the longest, but it's much better when you come out and score on your first drive. McNamara looked pretty good. Overall, what he did, here I'm trying to quick look at my stats, 9 of 11 for 136 yards. I really love his deep ball. He threw 2 deep balls that I can think of off the top of my head, both to Ronnie Bell. The first one, the spectacular, you probably won't see it anywhere unless you go to like Twitter or something, spectacular one-handed catch by Ronnie Bell. The whole reason was he's having to hold off to the Western Michigan defender. They were both arm shoving. Ronnie Bell got called for the offensive pass interference. 50-50 call, this time it went against them. Okay, fine. In the big scope of things, it doesn't really matter. Then the second one, he did catch 76-yard, nice bomb. I love the play call going on the 3rd and 4. You think Michigan's going to just do a little 4, 5, 6-yard route to a tight end to Eric All or somebody who did play a great game. Couple catches for All, some really good blocks, especially on that first drive. Eric All had a big block on the 4th and 1 run by Haskins. But going back to the touchdown by Bell, deep ball, beautiful. Bell caught it right in stride, broke a minimal tackle and ran it in. And that play, Ronnie Bell's catch there kind of took a 10-7 game where Michigan had gone like 2 straight 3-and-outs, I think it was at the point. That would have been 3 straight if that's not a completion, but it was. And it was a touchdown. And it was like, okay, it was 17-7. You can breathe a little bit more as a Michigan fan. Like, okay. My brother watching with him too, he's like, well, don't panic, Oklahoma was tied with Tulane. It's like, okay, it's the beginning of the year, working things out. Like, okay. Obviously, Cade McNamara played really well, only 11 passes. And they got offensive plays out of the run game. Obviously, you had the 2 sweeps, one to Henning, one to Wilson. Big sweeps, those were cool, well blocked. Michigan played a very clean game, not many penalties. And defensively, you were really wondering what was the team going to be like under McDonald. You didn't really know, and Michigan seemed to be getting burned a lot by Western Michigan when they were playing zone, and that makes sense. Still trying to learn live game action. Western Michigan's quarterback looked pretty good on his throws. He didn't throw for a ton of yards. I think it was under 150, and that's playing like most of the game, if not the whole game. So, the defense did a pretty good job, solidly. They gave up a little over 100 yards rushing, but you can't complain when you give up 7 points in real meaningful action time. They, of course, got the touchdown at the end of the game. I'm a nitpicker. That's just my nature. Western Michigan scored their only 2 touchdowns on drives that Michigan extended the drives by stupid penalties. The first one, a Hibbo, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, number 55, who had nothing to do with the play, goes over and taunts the the wide receiver on the ground, 15-yard penalty. It would have been 3rd and 10. Instead, it's a first down and they go down and score. Obviously, the second one, I don't know what special teams is even doing going after the punter. They get called for a very ticky-tack, weak running into the kicker on 4th and 2, gives them the first down, they go down and score. All right, clean up a few things. Special teams, I think, was a big plus for Michigan, though. Really good return, sadly. Bell had a really, really good return of a punt. He got injured. It didn't look good. Corum had a really good return, kickoff return. Special teams, punts were inside the 20. Really good. Field goal went in. I thought he missed it, honestly. I thought he missed it, but they raised their arms, so I guess he hit it. I don't think they returned a kickoff either. Our kickoffs were all going for touchbacks. So I think overall a really good special teams day outside of that foolish hitting the punter. But it is what it is. Let's talk about the defense. Focus on that a little bit. The two big names for Michigan defense, Hutchinson and Dax Hill. Hutchinson's got a lot of hype, especially on the TV broadcast. He got some good pressures. I would love to know exactly how many he got. I'm guessing 4 or 5. He got 1 sack with a forced fumble. Seemed like he had a pretty good game there. Interesting listening to Hutchinson, or sorry, no, John Jansen on the way back home. He was saying how, defensive linemen, you would love for them to get pressure like every play, but you're not going to. But he said he was noticing how Hutchinson would set up that. So he was attacking the lineman the same way all through the game. And then all of a sudden when it was like a big play, he did that swim move, got past him like he was standing still, and got to the quarterback. So that's an interesting point about how defensive linemen try to set up offensive linemen who think they know what the move's going to be, and then boom, they go right around them on big plays. Another, got to talk about Dax Hill. He's actually got a safeties secondary coach on campus. Last year, the whole kerfuffle with the secondary coach who never even showed up on campus. We don't know why. It was never really addressed by the staff of anything. Anyways, Dax Hill played a great game. He covered those wide receiver jet sweep type things, bubble sweeps, really well. Take on a blocker, shed the blocker, and go get the guy for a minimal gain. He played those extremely well. Overall, I think our defense played really good. Again, they gave up 2 scores. One of them was, garbage time. And like I said, both of them were because of extended penalties. Penalties extended the drive. I gotta say, this game was a total plus for me. For one big important reason. I'm glad it happened. Michigan played their backups. It's too often, I've criticized Jim Harbaugh for this over and over. Too often, they keep the starters in for too long, especially the offensive players, like the quarterbacks. You need to get those guys out of the game for 2 reasons. 1, injury prevention, totally. Number 2, get reps for your young players. I think if younger players get reps, for 1, it helps them develop. Duh. Number 2, it keeps them around. If they get on the field, hey, I know I can play here. I'm going to get my chance to play here. I'm getting worked in. I think that was a problem for Michigan. They were not playing their backups, and then people are like, man, why am I going to stick around here? Go where I can at least get on the field. Even when you had blowout games, you didn't get your subs in. That's terrible. So, obviously, the play of the game, because you probably won't find the Bell catch, the one-handed Bell catch. If you can find that, that's great play. But I think the play of the game is from JJ. Just crazy. He was in the pocket, kind of went down towards the Michigan sideline, avoided a tackle, broke a tackle, and stopped and threw across the field. Now, I know Dan Orlovsky was like, you're never supposed to do that. You're never supposed to throw across your body. He's like, he didn't really throw across his body. He stopped, set his feet, and threw. Is it the greatest throw, the most ideal throw to throw that every game? No, but it worked. He threw across the field. They broke it down. It was supposed to at least be 43 yards in the air. And who caught it? Dylan Baldwin, the new transfer in, grad transfer, caught it, ran it in for a touchdown. Definitely I saw on ESPN when I was looking up the stats, that was the top highlight of the game. If you did not see it, go check out that play. Am I saying I want JJ to be doing that every play? No. But it's cool that he has that ability. It's kind of almost like he's got that lightning in his arm, that he can do some throws. I think he was 6 of 8 on throws, and the 2 throws were just on the wrong side of the receiver and such. So there's potential there. Love seeing Donovan Edwards get play. Definitely, I think the player of the game has to be Blake Corum, though. I mean, he had over 100 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. Again, he had the really big punt return. He was just outstanding. He does those inside cuts really good. Nothing wrong with Haskins. He scored a touchdown, broke a tackle, got in. Really cool. Overall, when the offense gets 500-plus yards of offense, it's going to be a good game. That's exactly what you wanted to see from Michigan. I totally enjoyed it. This harkened back to when Michigan was a really good team, where you would have these MAC games, and it would just be kind of like, okay, now you get to see the backups in this third and fourth quarter. It was nice to see that again, because Last year was just miserable. So, what can I say? 47-14. On to Washington. Washington's obviously going to be a much different animal. Washington at night in the big house. Hopefully it's going to be a good maze out. We'll see how that goes. I got to give that props too. The crowd was big. It was loud. It was a great atmosphere. I think the fans, even though Michigan has the label of having kind of quiet fans, and I get it, they do. Especially at the game. The old-timers don't make a lot of noise. Today, the crowd was great. Oh, my daughter's coming, so my time zone is almost up. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have a comment, please put it in the box below. I'll try to respond as possible. I know it's a 47-14 game. Lots of storylines. Great game. Until I see you guys next time, go Blue!